So my name is Lukasiak and I am an actress and I'm an author. So the journey of my career as an actress and an author. Well, I started out dancing on Dance Moms and I did that from 9 to 13, and around that time I started auditioning, and I wasn't really passionate about acting at that point. I was kind of doing it just whenever auditions came through. It was just like a I'll get it done sort of thing. And then when I was 18 years old, whenever I moved to California, not last August, but the August before that, I moved to California and I decided to really give acting a chance. Like, I just completely opened up my mind to it, and I decided to dedicate like about a year of like really putting time and effort in, and I would reevaluate how I felt about it then. Well, within like the first month of doing that, I fell in love with acting and I realized it was one of my passions, and it gave me so much joy and happiness, and it like filled me up so much, and I decided that I was gonna really focus on it and that it was meant for me. So I've been focused on acting since then. I'm auditioning and I've had the opportunity to do 7 films at this point, and I'm really grateful for them, and I'm incredibly grateful for all that will come. That's kind of where I'm at, and acting is still my #1 passion. When I was about 16 or 17, I was approached to write an autobiography, so I wrote Girl on Point, Chloe's Guide to Taking on the World, with a ghostwriter. Her name's Nancy Olin, and so I was able to do that, and even though I wasn't part of the entire writing process, I realized that I really loved it. I love writing. I've been writing poems for a very long time, and after that experience writing a book and knowing how much I love books, I decided I wanted to be an author. So I am an author. I wrote a book and I'm working on another book. So that's kind of my journey with that. It's crazy where life takes you. It takes you in really unexpected places, but I'm so grateful for it all, and I'm so grateful for where I've ended up. So tips for taking on your dreams and goals when people say you can't. I have a lot to say about this. First off, you have to realize and accept that no matter who you are, what you're doing, where you're at, where you're going, no matter what the circumstances, people will always be talking, probably negatively, of what you're doing. No matter if it's 1 person or 10 people or 100 people, there will always be someone trying to put you down and keep you low, because they're jealous of you, or they're afraid of your power, or they see you taking risks that they never did and they wish they were doing that and they're jealous. So once you realize this and accept this, all of that gets a lot easier to ignore, because you realize that if you're chasing after dreams and goals that you're really passionate about, that you love, that fill you up, it doesn't matter what anyone says. So I guess that would be my first tip. Figure out what you're really passionate about, your genuine dreams and goals, because if you're doing something that doesn't make you happy, that doesn't satisfy you and fill you up, that doesn't bring you so much joy, then that negativity will really get you down, because already you're not happy doing what you're doing, and then people are like talking negatively of you or saying you can't do it. It's just gonna be a whole mess of bad stuff. But if you were chasing after your genuine dreams and goals and you were doing what you love, something that you're really passionate about, then all of that kind of just goes away anyway, because you realize that you're happy and it doesn't matter what they say, because it's not their life, it's your life. So you have to do what makes you happy. You are the only one who is going to make sure you're happy, so you have to do what makes you what you're passionate about, and kind of ignore the rest. And like I said, people are always going to have something to say, and as I mentioned earlier, it's probably because they're jealous of the risks you're taking because they never took them, or you're chasing after what they want to do but they don't have the courage to do, or they just want to bring you down because they're down. You have to accept all of this and realize that you can't stop any of it, so you may as well focus on yourself. and ignore the people who try to bring you down, because there will be a lot of them. Age does not matter one little bit. Age means nothing. And I'm so tired of our society and everyone in it living their lives by these like ideas of age, that we have to get things done at certain ages, and if we miss that age then we can't do it anymore, then we've missed our chance. That is not true at all, and I hope you learn that and accept that, because it'll set you free. Age doesn't matter. Someone in my French class, I'm a college student right now at Pepperdine University, and someone in my French class, he's 35, and I love it so much. He's one of my favorite friends, students. It's hard to be friends with people when it's all online, you know, but he's one of my favorite ever, because obviously I've heard of all older college students, but I've never been in class with someone, and so whenever I realized we were in the same class together, I was really, really excited, because he's like, he is the example to me that you can do whatever you want at whatever age you want, and it goes beyond school. You can start writing a book at 60 years old. You can start auditioning when you're 50 years old. You can go to college again, or you can go to college when you're 40 years old. Age doesn't matter. Don't let this idea that you are too old or too young define how you live. If you have a dream, if you have a passion, if you have a goal, chase it. Do not let age stop you, because at the end of the day, it really means nothing. Like, we think, as a society has made us think that we can't do something because of our age, but it's not actually true. There is nothing, well, unless there's like, of course, like age restrictions. There's nothing stopping you from doing what you love, or starting late or starting early. It is up to you to decide. You just have to figure out what you want to do, and then you just go after it. Don't listen to the other people, because like I said earlier, they're probably the people trying to hold you back. My favorite mantras or tips for practicing self-love. Well, while these past 2 years have been horrible and tragic in regard to the bad stuff, I think that we all needed to slow down collectively and individually. I know these past 2 years have been, or I guess year and a half, have been incredibly important to me, because I feel like I've grown so much as a person, and I feel like I've really, really grown into myself more. I feel like I'm really figuring myself out and figuring out my dreams and goals, what's important to me, my values, all of those things. I feel like I've really just, that's been my main focus, and so self-love is certainly part of that, like a very, very big part of that. And you know, a few months ago I might have said self-love means sitting on the couch and watching TV and eating ice cream, and while I still do that sometimes, I think there are so many ways to show your self-love, and for me, I think self-love means respecting yourself. So I really, really listen to myself now. You know, I think before the pandemic, I used to be so ruled by what I thought I was supposed to do that now I really listen to what I want to do. So if a friend invites me out to dinner, you know, safely, and I don't feel like going, I won't. I feel comfortable saying no now. I feel comfortable saying yes. I feel comfortable doing whatever, just as long as I really, really want to do it. I have focused all of my attention on like what I want to do, and that means self-love to me. Spending time in nature, alone and with friends safely, journaling and meditating, practicing yoga, or really moving my body in any way, whether it be like, you know, like high intensity like cardio or whatever, or like slowing down and doing yoga, or simply just stretching. Whatever it is, I just listen to my body and I do it, and that means self-love to me. So I think there are so many ways you can experience and show your self-love, but to me the main thing about self-love is respecting yourself and listening to yourself. How to build confidence before walking into a meeting. So I always thought that with confidence, it was kind of like a fake it till you make it kind of thing. And something I kind of pieced together in the past few months, that mindset can easily be translated into affirmations. So in this more like in this shift of my life, as I was previously talking about, affirmations are something I practice and focus on now. So if you don't, or if you aren't familiar with affirmations, they are repeated positive statements to encourage you or to help, you know, just there for you. And they can be whatever you want, and they're supposed to be positive. And so I think affirmations can be used to build confidence. So, you know, before you walk into a meeting, or if you know you have a meeting that day, you can repeat a positive affirmation to yourself, like, I am worthy, I deserve to be heard, you know, things like that, that will kind of like subconsciously boost your confidence. Because if you walk into that meeting with this mindset of like, I deserve to be heard, then confidence will come from that, you know. So when you talk, you'll feel like you deserve to be talking, you deserve to be like heard in this meeting by all of these coworkers or colleagues or people you're presenting something to. That confidence will come from those affirmations. So I made this connection a while back, and I think it's really cool, and I think that you should try it out if you want to. I really like it. Affirmations are really fun. How to stay grounded. Grounding for me, I find grounding through, well, so I meditate every morning, and part of my meditation is kind of connecting to the earth and grounding myself in that way and feeling like the power of the earth through my meditations. But also I've been spending far more time outside recently and at the park. I spend so much time at the park now, and just taking off my shoes and walking around barefoot is really grounding, because when you connect to the earth without like any barriers or anything, it's like scientifically proven. You can look it up when I don't have the facts off the top of my head, but it's very, very good for your body, for your soul, for your mind. You become like charged from the earth. So I ground through meditation and through walking around barefoot while I'm at the park. But honestly, like, I try to do it all the time. Like, I've been wearing this is kind of dorky, but I feel like I've been wearing like sandals so much more lately, because if there's like a small patch of grass near me, I'll like slip them off and just like go walk around in the grass just to like feel the earth and connect with the earth. So that's how I ground. And I think grounding is so important, because the world we live in can make you feel very like kind of chaotic and like out of body experiences a lot. And I feel like a lot of people are like always up here and like just not feeling like stable. So when you ground, you feel so like centered and calm and stable, and it gives you like the perfect foundation to like handle everything in life. How do I decide what brands to work with? Well, in the past I wasn't as particular. I didn't have so many what's the word? I wasn't so particular, I guess I'll say. So I was really open to working with any brand. I loved the opportunity to work with new brands, and I loved like the partnerships. But now things that have always been important to me but weren't top of mind before are becoming, there's a fuzz, are becoming far more important to me, and they're like becoming leading variables in my life, and they're things I want to shape my life around. So like sustainability is incredibly important to me. There's lots of other things, and kind of like guidelines I use now when I work with brands. This is a very, very new thing, and I really love it. I thought that I was so worried to do it in the past because I thought it would really like narrow my experiences, but now I'm okay with it because I have these like morals and values that are so important to me that I want to like implement into my life, into every part of it. So to keep these morals and values even with work, not just like in my personal life, feels amazing. So how do I decide which brands to work with? It's kind of like feel it out for each brand partnership kind of deal. So when a brand comes to me, I kind of, you know, like I said, I have those sort of guidelines now, and I decide like if I really want to be presenting myself in collaboration with this brand, and I've become more picky, I guess you could say. Surrounding yourself with the right support network. This one is incredibly important. I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase or the fact or the idea, whatever it is, that you are the 5 people you hang out with the most. As in like their personalities, their morals, their everything good and everything bad about them is also who you are. So this is something I've really, I think subconsciously more than consciously, has been on my, like, has been affecting me lately, because I think, like I said, these past few months I've been settling into myself, and the people in my life, like the people who I don't really connect with anymore, they've kind of like naturally disappeared, and then the people who I really connect with and who I think are really beautiful and I really value, they've like really solidified in my life. So I think it's really important to have the right support network and to kind of build that out, because you want friends and family and people you work with to be supportive and encouraging, and to have the same morals and values as you, and to like only bring in positivity to your life. You don't want like competition or negativity or people you don't really see eye to eye with, or just like even surface level friends. Like I definitely think quality over quantity is the most important, so I don't really care how many people I have in my life, just who those people are, and if I really like love them as a person, then they're in my life. And I think having that strong, supportive, positive support network is a really crucial, beautiful part of my life. Women supporting women, my favorite freaking topic. I love this. I love, love, love women who support women. I think it is so important that women support women, especially because men sometimes really don't support women. So we need all the women to equally support and love one another. I will freely admit that a while ago I had a not good mindset of viewing other women as my competition, that I needed to be better than them. I really was thrown off by confident women. They really irked me, and actually reading Untamed by Glennon Doyle helped me realize this. And then I woke up and I realized how important it is and how beautiful women are, and how we should all support one another, because there's room for all of us. I think that's something that's really important to me, or something important that I like realized, is there is room for all women to succeed. We are not each other's competition. We are each other's supporters and lovers. Like, we love one another so hard. We're each other's friends. Like, no one will support you more passionately than women will. So I think it's so important that women support women. I will always support women, and I love that there's this kind of shift in this mindset collectively, all of us having this like realization, like, whoa, there's space for all of us to be really cool human beings together. And now I view confident women with so much awe, and I admire them so much, and I'm like, I want to be like you, and I think you're beautiful. I'm not like thrown off by them, and I'm not like bothered by them, because I think, I don't know, it's really just support women. Women support women. It's really cool. Navigating social media. This is a really I have a love-hate relationship with social media. I think social media is a great way to stay connected with your friends and kind of catch up on people's lives and keep other people updated. Obviously, I use my social media as a job too, so I am incredibly grateful for that. But social media did contribute to my life very negatively for a very long time. I think all of us are like kind of aware of this like phrases or quotes or whatever, that everything you see on Instagram is just like a highlight reel of people's lives. So you see like the really high successful moments, and you don't see their low points, their failures, their human moments, you don't see any of that. And so social media was really getting to me. I thought that, you know, it made me feel really bad about myself. It definitely contributed to my EDs, all of those things. So I really didn't like social media. And then I decided to take a very far step back from social media. So I stopped posting as much on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, everything. I kind of like went a little bit MIA, and I realized that there was so much present life that I had been missing when I was so consumed by social media. And so, you know, I started being so much more present, and that's when I really kind of started settling into myself and started to become a lot more present, more spiritual. I just realized that there was so much life in front of me I was missing because I was living my life through other people's lives on social media. So I like unfollowed all of the, like, anyone who wasn't my friend or who I didn't know. I just unfollowed. You know, I was just like, I don't need to look at this. I don't need to feel bad about myself. My life is beautiful and perfect and I'm grateful for it, and I don't need to be feeling like I'm not doing enough because I'm watching someone else's highlight reels. And I think taking a step back from social media has positively impacted my life so much. I feel like I'm so much more present. Instead of like choosing to like sit on my phone for hours upon hours, I'll go outside or I'll read a book, or I'll go to the pool, or I'll go to the park, or I'll do anything, or I'll paint anything. I'm so much more present in life now that I've taken a step back from social media. And if you follow me, you've probably noticed that I've gone a little bit quiet, and I'm so okay with stepping back from social media. Some days I wish I could delete it entirely, but like I said, it's such a beautiful way to connect with people especially people who are far away or who you don't know well. So there are positive parts of social media. So you just have to, I guess you can take everything I said and take it or leave it, but those are the changes I made with social media, and now I see it as a more positive space instead of this like overwhelmingly negative space. How did I figure out what my values are? Well, I think that started with me kind of stepping back and thinking about the person I really want to be, and I still do that. I still, you know, I'm still working towards being that best self, that future self, that higher self. But in doing that and deciding, like, you know, kind of just sitting down and writing down what's important to me, like who I am, what I do, what I contribute to this world, that really helped me. So I can't really give you like a formula, like, you know, I think like being kind is important, being kind to the earth is important. Doing that's what's important to me, but that is how I figured out what is important to me, by just like slowing down, sitting, and just writing down the kind of person I want to be, the kind of mark I want to leave on the world, what I want to contribute to this world, all of that. That is really what helped me decide my morals and values and what's most important to me, and what, like, the way I kind of lead my life now. How do I stay true to myself and to my values? That was a very difficult thing to do when I didn't know myself and I didn't know what my values were. But now that I do, it's extremely simple. I just respect myself and honor myself, and nothing really shakes me, you know, like I know, like, and like I said with the last question, I know who I want to be, I know what I want to do, and I'm really like grounded into that knowledge, and it keeps me stable and it keeps me moving and leading a life I'm proud of. What do I tell myself when I want to give up? Well, honestly, that has kind of shifted a little bit. Ever since I figured out what I really want to do and what I'm really passionate about, I don't really struggle with giving up. I know that everything happens for a reason, and the successes that will come, I know that they will eventually come when it's the right time. So I don't really ever think about giving up. That's not really an option for me anymore. And once I figured out what I want to do and what I'm passionate about and what fills me up and brings me so much joy and love and happiness, there is no giving up on that. There's just this solid belief that everything happens for a reason, and so everything that's meant for me will come to me at the right time, and so I never need to give up because I know that they will eventually come. I just trust in the process, because everything that I've ever gone through has taught me something. And so I guess that kind of goes back to the everything happens for a reason mindset. But I don't really struggle, like I don't face the question of like giving up. I just know what I want to do, and I know that the right time will come, and I just am steady in that. What would I tell my younger self? Honestly, I think the only thing I would tell my younger self is everything happens for a reason. I didn't learn this lesson, this belief, until later in life, and I think if I learned it a little bit earlier, some of the really difficult things I went through might have been a little bit easier to go through, knowing that there was a reason for them and that I would work through them, and there would be so much love on the other side of it. So that's what I would tell my younger self. Everything happens for a reason, and even if you can't see it right now, you will see it one day. So you just have to trust in the process. Thank you so much. Bye.